I guess Jake Paul's feeling pretty confident because he called out Pereira after.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. I know why he did that. Like Pierre is a good big name. It's goes back to the UFC. It's just all media attention. He knows 100% he's never gonna fight Alex Pereira until after Alex Pereira leaves the UFC. But he knows he's never gonna get that fight right now. He knows how much media attention does. I think that was all complete media stunt. That I don't think that fight's ever gonna happen until like well
No, I
past.
can see that. Yeah, I can
Yeah,
see that. He even like FaceTimed them and shit, right? They were talking on
yeah.
FaceTime there on the ring or something like that.
Yeah, that fight will never happen as long as Alexis signed to the UFC. So
And
I
I
mean,
wonder if Dana would co-promote or something for some big money. If like
yeah,
Saudi Prince got involved.
yeah. I mean, it's fun to speculate, but that's exactly why I don't think this fight would happen. Is because I know Dana White would never. He would never bend the knee and give Jake any of his fight. You know what I mean? Because of how much Dana White does not like Jake Paul. That's
Well,
why I
think
think this
about
will
it
never
though.
happen.
If I'm playing the devil's advocate here, um, Dana, well, there's news that Dana might do John Jones versus Ngannou, or that he would be down if it was co-promoted with the Saudi Prince, and Saudi Prince has connections with the PFL too, right? Because of that's how Francis was able to box, and Jake Paul is signed with PFL. So if I'm playing the devil's advocate here,
Yeah, that is true. That is true. But I think it's a different scenario because Ngannou, yes, he signed with the PFL, but Dana would be working with the Saudis and not Jake Paul. But in this fight, he knows he's directly dealing with MVP Promotions and Jake Paul, and just the fact that it's Jake Paul, I think Dana is like, hell nah. Like, I don't care I don't care. Like, even though I think Alex Pereira would win that fight, and that's like an actual fight. That is a real fight that makes sense in terms of size. Like they're both heavyweights, basically. They're both easily 200 pounds. They're both over 6 foot. All yada yada yada. But I just think that it purely comes down to it's Jake Paul and Dana does not like him.
so let's say there's some by some crazy shit goes down or whatever, and Jake Paul and Alex fight. All the people that been hating on Jake, you think that fight would like they would have to stop that
Oh,
narrative or
100
whatever that he's not a real fighter?
100%. If he beat Pereira, then 100%. But
Or not
like I,
not even beat him, but just fight him, you know? What if he
oh
like
yeah,
fought him and got knocked out? Do you think like they everybody would be like, "Oh, props for
hundred,
stepping in."
yeah, 100%. Yeah, for sure. And that's exactly why Jake Paul did that. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah, yeah.
he's trying to act like he'd fight him, this and that. But we all know that fight would never happen. And that's exactly why he called him out. I mean, if he was serious, he would have called out a tangible fight that would actually make sense. Like maybe someone like, do you know who Vidal Riley is?
Yeah, yeah.
The guy who trained Deji. That
Oh,
is a real
that'd be
fight.
perfect for Jake.
That
Yeah, that'd
yeah,
be perfect for
exact
Jake.
yeah. That's a real fight that they could actually make a made fighter, same size, whatever. But obviously, we're never gonna see him call out real fighters like that.
Yeah.
uh, I mean, maybe eventually, maybe after he knocks out maybe after he collects a couple more bags against like a couple more like Jorge Masvidal, like another welterweight. Because Mike Perry
Yeah.
was a welterweight in the UFC. I mean, I think every UFC fighter he's fought was a welterweight. You know what I mean? Like 170. So it's like shit, man. It's hard
Yeah.
to it's kind of hard to lose when because Jake Paul's not a bad boxer, and then you add on like the height and weight advantage. It's pretty hard to lose if you're pretty much like
Yeah.
making a fight. He's basically making the fight for him. Like this matchup, he knew he had every advantage going into the fight. Like I even called, what I mean, I was like explaining exactly why Jake would have every advantage in this fight, and then we saw like exactly what happened. So it's like I'll know, I'll know exactly what's gonna happen if he picks another welterweight ex welterweight fighter because we've seen it 3 times. It's like,
Yeah,
goddamn, man. Like, come on. He's got to
no
find,
kidding.
yeah, he's got to find someone at least a little bit bigger, like at least same size. But again, at the same time, we know what happens when he does that, right? He fought Tommy Fury and lost. The only fighter that was like a decent boxer and then also same size and height. So I think he's gonna stay away from that for a little bit longer. I bet he takes probably I bet he takes at least 3 fights after the Mike Tyson fight before he fights another real fight. Cause like
Damn.
because I feel like it just makes no sense for him because he's not going to make any more money fighting a real fighter unless they're like a really big star. But like at the same, that probably wouldn't happen. So he would have to find another Tommy Fury like fighter, but they might not have as big of a name as Tommy Fury. So again, it's hard for him to find a good fight for himself that actually sells. Like Mike Perry is a good seller. So
Yeah.
I gotta give
Oh,
Jake props because like he's finding fights that people would want to watch, but he's also finding those fights that he would easily win. So
but to like play devil's advocate again, Anderson Silva fought at 185 in the UFC though, and Jake was like 180 at the time.
oh yeah, that is
You don't
true.
think that's like a legitimate win for him? And
That
Anderson
one,
was
yeah, I would
like
give him
known
that one.
for being cold as fuck.
Yeah, I would give him that one. That one was a good one. But I mean, how old is Anderson Silva?
That's true. Yeah, Anderson had just beat Julio Cesar Chavez too
Yeah.
in boxing.
Um. Oh my God.
He's
Okay.
49.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, yeah. And Silva, like, I don't know. It's hard to. I guess that was more reasonable, but he would have been like 40, pretty old. He would have been like 46, 47.
Yeah, he'd been boxing and shit though too though. So
Yeah.
that's his most legitimate win,
Yeah,
Anderson.
that
I
was
feel
his
like.
most legitimate one for sure. What was the scorecards?
I don't know, but or not Nate, Jake dropped him.
Yeah, he did at the very end. I think it was at
Yeah.
like towards the end. Yeah, he won pretty decisively with that knockdown.
Thank you for tuning in. If you're new to the podcast, please like, share, and subscribe.
Also, check us out on Instagram at P number 4P Combat Sports Podcast. Thanks for tuning in.